Guys, let's talk about cervical cancer. There are two terminologies I would like you to understand before we proceed. What is a cancer and what is cervix? A cancer is simply an abnormal group of cells that has potential of spreading to other tissues. So for instance, if the cells in my finger begins to grow abnormally and have potential of spreading from my finger to, let's say, to my breast or to my lung, then we say you have cancer. What is cervix? Cervix is actually the opening of the womb of a woman, and this is found deep within the vagina. Now, when cancer affects this part of the womb of a female, we say you have a cervical cancer. The cause of cervical cancer is an infection with a virus called human papilloma virus. This virus, where do we find it? It's all over us. It's on our skin. But how do we get it deposited in the cervix? Typically, the commonest route by which we get the virus to attach or to get into the cervix is from sexual intercourse, because the virus is on the skin of the penis as well. So one of the commonest risk factors that predispose women to developing this cervical cancer is having multiple sexual partners, having unprotected sex, or have partners who have multiple sexual partners, right? So at the end of the day, the virus has arrived in the cervix. What do you think will happen? Well, the virus causes minute changes within the cells of the cervix, and these changes accumulate over time, over a long period of time, sometimes 10 years or 15 years, and eventually the cells are transformed into cancer. So this means that we have enough time on our hands to be able to detect these changes very early and deal with it. This is why it is important for you not to wait till you have symptoms to get yourself screened for the cancer. So what are the symptoms of cervical cancer? Like I said, it takes a long time to develop into cancer, so you have no symptoms at all. Now, once you begin to develop symptoms, it means that cancer has arrived. And some of the things you see is abnormal vaginal discharges, which are sometimes offensive, painful sexual intercourse, bleeding in between your menses, and sometimes you have pelvic pain. You know, these are some of the few things that you see. In fact, in advanced cancer, you can have weight loss, you become tired easily and all that. But please remember, by the time you develop these symptoms, it means the cancer has arrived. Most often, if it's not yet cancer, you feel nothing at all. Therefore, the best way for you to know is through screening. And the screening is really very cheap. You can go for a very cost-effective screening like the visual inspection with acetic acid, which is done all across hospitals in Ghana, usually free of charge or for peanut, like 20 or 30 or 50 Ghana cedis. Of course, you can also do an advanced test like the pap smear, where part of the cervix is scraped off and sent to the lab for the pathologist to view and report on it. Or you can equally take sample from the cervix and test for the virus, human papilloma virus. Once you do this and it is negative, what it means is that you do not have cancer now. Then every 3 years, they expect you to do the same screening to ensure that you don't have the cancer. Well, if it comes that there are changes, but the changes are not yet cancer, treatment can be given to stop the process so that it doesn't develop into cancer. Some of those treatments are free of charge. Okay. What about if it is cancer? Then they need to know what stage you've reached, and then appropriate treatment can be given to you. But take note that in a part of the world, many women have died from this disease, and we need to spread awareness among them. Go for a test to check whether you have cervical cancer or not. Of course, one sure way to also protect yourself is through vaccination, but this vaccine is now available for people who are yet to be sexually active. Do not hesitate to avail yourself if you find yourself in that age category for the vaccination. We need to vaccinate our boys and our girls so we can protect our women in the future against the virus. Take care of your health and always check to find out if you are healthy. Thank you.